a step-through form with multiple one-to-many children relationships. Hey Phil. Hey there. Hey Phil. I received a request to build a job safety and analysis app for a technician to use to visit a site, record the basic steps of a task like replacing a wire, record the hazards associated with each step like electrocution, hopefully not, and then record the solutions for each hazard like leather gloves. A step can have many hazards, a hazard can have many solutions. AppSheet can of course handle all of this with related refs and such, but I have a new wrinkle. The request is now that the form in the app Step-Thru, instead of relying on them to save the form and then add a child and save it, then go to the other child and save and add a grandchild, etc., etc. I think the problem is that it's not intuitive to have to keep saving and going back up a level to add siblings, but because this is a hierarchy of several one-to-many relationships on top of each other, I know of no other way to accommodate the original requirements. Have any of you seen built anything that can put a user on rails? I like your terminology. Oh, I'm going to steal that. And elegantly walk them through creating a dynamic number of children and grandchildren? My requester wanted it to be like they save the initial parent form, then it says, would you like to add a step? You hit yes. Describe the step. It asks, would you like to add a hazard? Hit yes. Would you like to add a solution? Yes. Would you like to add another solution? No. Then back to, would you like to add another hazard or a step to number 1? Blah, 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 blah. Love it. Oh yeah, totally. I hope that makes sense, and honestly, I'm 90% sure that AppSheet just isn't built to work this way. But I thought I would take a shot in the dark here and see if there is any of you AppSheet veterans that have solved something like this already. Well, the answer is yes, and let me walk you through how. Okay, so it's kind of involved on how this works. So I'm going to try and be brief. So the first thing that I have here is a list of like all of the tests that need to be done. These are the parent level items. And when I click on one of these, it takes me to that form. And so this is where I say, you know, this is who I am, and this is blah, 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 and this is the thing that I'm using, and all of this stuff. Okay, yeah, here we are. So, all right, now this form, I have it set to where it has autosave turned on. So when I fill out the last field here, this form automatically closes. Now, I also have an event action that fires off when you save. It's called Save Test. So if we go and we look at Save Test, it's this guy here. First thing it does is it updates the parent test. Ignore that. That's for something else. And then it executes this new test photo, this test. Okay, so that, if I show you, is a go to another view within this app. It takes me to the test photos form. So that's the child to the test table. So we set the parent link to the test that the person's back here saving. And then we say, set the type of image that I'm doing to the first of the remaining confirmation photos. So remaining confirmation photos. Before I go there, I'll show you this action only fires off if is not blank remaining confirmation photos. So this field lives on, we're talking about the test table. And so on the test, all the way down here, I have this field of remaining confirmation photos. And what it does is it takes the master list of required images and it subtracts from it all of the images that have already been taken. So this is the type of image. This is a column inside my child table where I say this is the type of image I'm taking. And this, the test confirmation photos, is that base related whatever, right? I just renamed it. But it is just the ref rows of the test photos. So this is the list of all of the photos that are associated with this test. And then what I'm doing is I'm doing a list dereference to get a list of all of the image types from those images that were taken. Then I'm taking that list and I'm subtracting it from the master list of images that need to be taken. And with that, I have a list of what's left to be done. And if we go back to that action for the new one, right? This one only fires off if there are remaining photos to do. And it takes me to the child form, and it sets the item I'm doing to the first one out of that list. So if I show you what that looks like, if I complete this field, it drops me in here. So this is the child form, and it automatically set to the first thing that I need to do. Now this is set up the same way because there's 3 things that I need to do. So if I show you this form, it's the same type of setup. I have autosave turned on, so when I complete the last field down here, which I've included as a navigation button, like I literally included that to make it easier for people. And then when I save this, it fires off this series of actions. If we go find that, if we look for save, it's on test photos. And so that one does the same thing. Ignore this first one, and we have this new test photo. And you're probably thinking it's the same type of thing. If is not blank, remaining confirmation photos, but I threw in this other navigation thing down here because I have this, you see I have a wait option that I gave them. So only if the navigation option equals capture next. So there's still stuff to do, and they said I want to do the next one. So if I fill out this form really quick, yep. Now I say, what do I want to do? I want to do the next one. And so this action fired off and took me back to the same form, but then it set it to the same parent as the one that I already created, and it sets the image that I'm taking to. I just deref that same list of remaining photos and grab the first item out of it. So it's almost the exact same action. I think I probably literally copied it and just modified it a little bit. And so then that fires off as long as there's still stuff to do. And then, so I'll hold on, let me fill that out. So if I do this, and I say yes, do the last one, say yes, this. Okay, now when I hit this last one, so it's going to execute this series again. It'll do this, but this one, since there's nothing left to do, this is empty. Then it starts doing these two. So what do these two do? So first thing it does is it sets the test form type to signing. This is a way that I use to conform the form that I'm looking at here. There could be more fields available inside here, and I'm hiding them based on a flag that I have set inside the table. So here's the test table. And so there's all of this stuff where it's like testing, location, it was completed by, and then there's all this signature stuff. So we're at the point where we're done. So I just want to show them this signature stuff. And so what I've done is I have a field that I use literally called form type, and I just set that to a flag, and I base my show ifs off of that, or other functionality off of that. And so what happens is when this stack fires off is it sets the form type to signing, and then we go to the form, or we go to the test. So this is link to row, the TP test link. This is the parent of the child, because this is the test photos. So this is the test parent in the test signing form. So the first thing I do is I say, I'm doing signing, and then I go to that record inside a form. So if I do this, it drops me inside the form. So this is the very first form that I created where I said the test that I'm doing, this is the same form. It's just now I'm in the signing version. And so I can go through and sign it. And then when I'm done here, what I've done is, again, there's this save test thing, but because there's no more remaining actions, there's nothing left to do. And so then it drops down to this finishing view, which takes me to, this is the last thing that I want it to do, is it drops me into the test dashboard, which is where I was when I started the whole thing. Now I can begin this process again for all of these other things that may have, more things than just 3. But with that, what I did is I created the parent, then I went and I created the children, then I came back and I signed the parent, all of this stuff down here. So it's totally possible for you to do this sort of thing, but it's all a matter of taking over the event actions and creating sequence events that, you know, immediately that do the things. And yeah, you see, it's involved. Hey, I just wanted to say thanks for watching the video. Make sure you give it a like and a thumbs up, and make sure you subscribe. It really helps the channel with all the algorithm stuff that's going on I'm trying to build. Also, if you really want to show your love, you can head on over to patreon.com/MultiTech. There's some goodies over there. It's $10 a month. I got a lot of good stuff going on over there. Check it out. Otherwise, I'll see you in the community.